It is Sunday, April 27th, 2025. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud, and I am here to give you an update on the severe storms that will be impacting the Midwest tomorrow, Monday, April 28th. We begin right now with a look at the satellite map. This is actually a look at the upper level water vapor. This is great for depicting where low pressure systems are forming. And take a look at this bad Larry right here. This is going to move off to the northeast, and this right here, my friend, is our next system that will impact us heading into tomorrow. Here's a look at the latest Storm Prediction Center update, and it shows a moderate risk, which is a level 4 out of 5. Nothing has really changed, and the fact that this is a very similar update to yesterday tells me that we're pretty confident that things are going to get cranking heading into tomorrow. I want to point something out for you though here. All right, here's a look at the tornado threat. And as we get a look at this tornado threat, notice that right here we see the red on the map. The red on the map would be a 15% chance of a tornado within a 25-mile radius, okay? So that means that anywhere in this area has a 15% chance of seeing any type of tornado within a 20-mile radius. But then let's take a look at something else. Take a look right here at the hatching. That hatch mark means that there is a 10% risk of the possibility of an EF2 to EF5 tornado within the 25-mile radius. All right, so that means that if you live in this hatch area right here, the risk of large destructive tornadoes between EF2 and EF5 is much higher. So let's go ahead and move on and take a look at some of the models. Again, something that you really need for severe weather, wind shear. What is that? Winds moving with different direction with height. Take a look at this right here. So we are seeing winds coming in at the surface at around 20 miles per hour right here. And then as we head up to 15,000 feet, we have a southwest wind. Notice that we have weak winds at the surface, strong winds at 15,000 feet. That's what you need to get that turbulent motion in the atmosphere to get these tubes of vorticity to actually make it down to the surface. Let's walk you through hour by hour how this is all going to evolve. So again, tomorrow morning, around sunrise, we have round 1. And I want to be transparent. We have 2 rounds of severe weather. Round 1 comes in around sunrise. Round 2, late afternoon, heading into the evening. So here is tomorrow morning. We'll go to around 6 a.m. And it's going to be this warm front right here that we're tracking. All right, that is going to bring in that rich supply of high dew points that's going to really saturate the air. And again, here is that warm front that I just mentioned, moving in across the region right here. All right, so you have this warm front. That is going to bring a round of non-severe storms. Maybe some light hail, maybe some gusty winds, but that's pretty much it. But it's behind this warm front that we're looking at dew points that are going to be in the 60s. That means that the air will become increasingly unstable as we head throughout the day. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this a little bit further in detail. Look what happened. So again, here's 6 a.m. in the morning, and I want to draw this out for you so you can kind of see, again, here's that warm front. We get storms that kind of ignite along the leading edge of that warm front, but it's really in this sector right here that we're going to get those supercells that form heading into the afternoon. All this warm front is doing is priming the atmosphere. We're getting that rich energy moving on in. And then take a look at what happens as we head later on in the day, as we see things really begin to evolve. And here we go. We'll stop it right here at around 6, 7 p.m. at night. And again, 3 to 9 p.m. is really when the worst of it will be. But take a look right here. We start getting some of these supercells that form across east central Minnesota and west central Wisconsin. So we're talking Rochester, Minnesota, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Des Moines, Iowa. This is that area. And again, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is really when things really get going. All right, let's go back a little bit further. And again, this is going to be around lunchtime. These models are not showing a whole lot igniting here around lunchtime. So around 12 p.m., notice that we're not seeing a whole lot of activity in here, but sometimes the models lie to you. Sometimes we actually do get some activity that form right here. Because remember, here's your cold front back here, all right? And then here's your warm front. So this right here is what we call the triple point. This is kind of ground zero for where these storms form. This is where you have the perfect environment. You get peaks of sunshine, bada bing, bada boom. That's what primes the atmosphere and gets that instability cranking. Here is, again, this is 6 p.m. And then quickly as we head towards midnight, let's go ahead and zoom off down to the south. And you can see right here, we start getting a bit of a squall line that starts forming. And that is eventually going to lead to more of a damaging wind threat, more of a hail threat. If you live in Illinois, Indiana, we're looking at more of a wind threat than really anything else. But the severe threat will be more so across west central Wisconsin and east central Minnesota, where we're going to be looking at those discrete supercells. Typically, when we get within 12 to 18 hours, we can start really getting a better idea by looking at the atmosphere and seeing, how likely this is to evolve. So again, if you live in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, have a game plan in place and get ready for that tornado threat heading into tomorrow.